Hi everyone, it's Chenso from Reality Art Pod, here to talk about Survivor Season 49, Episode 12, titled The Die is Cast. Last week on Survivor, spaghetti, tiramisu, a strenuous journey, and a boring immunity challenge left Steven with immunity and a fresh block of vote advantage, and the tribe unanimously decided it was time for fruit-loving Sophie S. to go to Pandi R. I put a link in the description to my playlist to catch up on my previous recaps. If you like the content, consider liking, subscribing, and using my link to try Paramount Plus for free. But let's dive into it. Whoa, mama, there's a spider in the dock. The final six returned from Tribal. Everyone is thrilled that Sophie S is gone. Rizzo calls it God tier cinema. Steven is particularly happy to still have his block of vote advantage, and Sophie has now reclaimed her name as the only Sophie. Sage calls that vote sweet revenge. Rizzo lies to the group, telling them his immunity idol expires at final six in hopes that he can once again bluff and keep his idol to final five. The next day, rain, misery. Sophie still plans to turn on Rizzo and Savannah, feeling like she can't sit with them in the end, so she's starting her plans, conspiring with Christina, who she knows openly dislikes Savannah. They head to their challenge, where Savannah tells Jeff she's tired and hungry, and Jeff is like, too bad, you're about to play this challenge. Am I right, ladies? Players will have to race over a high step, navigate a bag over a ladder bridge, go under a crawl to get another bag, then land one sandbag on their high up pole. The first player to finish this will win reward, and it's a good one. A Mexican feast, tacos, guacamole, margaritas, tres leches, and a night at the sanctuary, and letters from home. Huge reward. So they get started with everyone doing pretty well to start. Steven is in the lead coming out of the bridge, with Savannah on his tail. Rizzo falls way behind, getting discombobulated with his ropes. Eventually, everyone's throwing. A wild throw from Christina. You know she's the girl who throws the bowling ball at the alley. Eventually, hungry, tired Savannah lands her sandbag and wins reward, and gets to share her reward with two other players, choosing to bring her boy Rizzo and ally Sophie. Savannah tells us these tacos are going to give her the strength she needs to beat Steven in these immunity challenges. This reward looks delicious. The sombreros are a choice from production. Back at camp, Sage is pissed and feels like she's getting her karma for failing to get Savannah out in the last round. Christina tells Sage and Steven that Sophie is ready to turn on Rizzo and Savannah, so Steven shares with them that he can block one of their opponent's votes and they can take the majority. At the reward, Sophie tells us she feels like being picked for the reward was a sign from God that she should stick with Rizzo and Savannah, so after they name their alliance the Tres Leches Alliance, she opens up to them about her knowledge as power, which they plan to use to steal Steven's advantage. They get their letters from home, which are written by hand, so you know it's not ChatGPT. Rizzo gets really choked up, excited that his dad wrote his letter, which was really sweet, and a letter from his brother with autism who he wants to inspire. Sophie's mom reminds her of her grandmother who she used to watch Survivor with and inspired her to go on the show. We didn't get to hear Savannah's letter. I guess there's not enough time in the 90-minute episode for the challenge winner's letter. That night, back at camp, whoa, mama, that's a fat, hairy rat. The fat rat attacks the sleeping losers, causing a stir. In the morning, the winners rejoin them to an icy reception. Heading to the immunity challenge, Jeff repos that necklace. Sorry, Steven, that thing is up for grabs. It's the Tina Wesson foot thing, which Jeff claims was first played in season 45. The Tina erasure? Unacceptable. Players need to use their foot to balance a ball at the end of their plank. The last player standing wins immunity. They get started. Rizzo's out first, followed by Sophie, Christina, Steven. It comes down to Sage and Savannah, a grudge match. Sage tries to strike a deal with Savannah, who, once again, is not moving and is not having the deal. Eventually, Savannah wins her third immunity. Sage is so upset, her plan is ruined, but she says it's back to the drawing board. Back at camp, Rizzo tries to get Steven to vote for Sophie instead of him, and he gets to work trying to get Sage to help them target Steven. Sage agrees that Steven could win the game, and she brings this back to Christina, suggesting that they join the vote to target Steven. Christina is shocked and seemingly not down. Sage wants the final three to be she, Sophie, and Christina. Christina tries denying to Steven that his name is coming up, but Steven sees right through it and says Christina is a sloppy player. Steven declares in confessional that he's casting his block of vote on Savannah, telling us the die is cast. Oop, he said the thing, and he no longer has an advantage that Sophie can steal. As they head to Tribal, Sophie tells us that her grandmother would tell her to steal Rizzo's idol. Instead of trying to take whatever Steven has, she's still considering both options. At Tribal, they unpack Savannah's decision to take Rizzo and Sophie on reward. Steven's talking about all the rats at camp. The jury is eating him up. Sophie expresses valid concern about her allies having protection and the other alliance having an advantage. Rizzo again says he's going to use his idol, repeating his lie that the idol expires this round. Jeff does his Shakespeare impression, saying the players are acting like they're in Othello in the summer. Steven says he's as nervous as shins in a dark room full of coffee tables. He's lost the jury's attention at this point. Alex rolls his eyes like, y'all see this? Before they get to vote, Sophie pipes up, revealing her knowledge is power, asking Steven if he has an advantage advantage, but he has none. This was cringe. The Tres Leches are gooped, and when they go to vote, Savannah finds out her vote has been blocked. Jeff asks for advantages, and when Savannah tells Rizzo she had no vote, Rizzo again stands up, giving his performance, acting like he's playing the idol, but then not playing it. So we get to the votes. It's looking bad for Sophie in this moment, but there's only one vote in that thing for Sophie from Steven, and the rest are for Steven. So by a vote of 4-1, we have to say goodbye to Steven here. So we say goodbye to Steven here, who got a good amount of screen time in the premiere, calling himself a discount Ryan Reynolds and sharing about his hearing loss. He's most featured of the original Hinas, bonding with everyone on the tribe, but also sharing his insecurities, creeping in from high school. He proves his strategy skills when he was alone with the Ulis, and made close bonds with the Bottoms Up Alliance, saving himself. That was the height of his game, but the Bottoms Up Alliance fell apart over time, putting him back in that bad place. But then the strenuous journey that gave him the block a vote, he played that well. He kept it for an extra round. It could have been impactful here, but he was such a challenge threat and jury threat, so yet again the entire tribe piles onto one player. Overall, he was good in challenges, and for the most part played optimally. This vote out was kind of unavoidable. The show loves him, he named several episode titles, and could deserve a second shot, though if I'm casting a second chance season and comparing him to other Survivor brainy compies, I'm not sure if I'm clamoring for more Steven. Let's talk about this episode. Everyone had a part to play this week, starting with Christina, who is hanging in there, contributed least to the strategy of the week, going along with the plan to vote Steven out, and was so bad at lying about it to Steven. She could have at least voted with Steven in solidarity, and made herself look disloyal, and most likely lost Steven's jury vote. Heading into this finale, I have zero hope that Christina is the winner of the season, though she's highly likely to get dragged to the final three. Sage also got swayed to change her vote, though her plan to go to final three with Sophie and Christina is the optimal path, and Steven not being there makes it much easier to get to that point. If she can win a challenge and get Savannah out, that would really help her chances, and she knows that. I was so disappointed with the Knowledge is Power play. Tres Leches had to know coming into this tribal that Sage and Christina were both going to vote Steven out, at least maybe. So I see the utility in using it on Steven to make sure he doesn't have anything if he's getting all these votes, as if he did have an advantage or idol, Sophie would have gone home, though I question if that was her mindset. It came across as a misfire. That advantage was Sophie's key to making a game-winning move, and now she's either going to have a banger of a finale or final tribal performance to win the game. Savannah had a great episode, winning both challenges, though the show didn't really give her flowers at all, rushing through her letters from home. This should have been the Savannah show, but it just wasn't, which concerns me, and I worry she hasn't played enough of an independent game from Rizzo to get the respect from the jury she needs. A perfect finale for Savannah looks like her winning both immunities, eliminating Sage, and sending herself into fire against Rizzo. Rizzo continues to use his idol to play mind games on everyone. They've known about this idol for so long. This has been a masterclass in how to play with a known idol. He really had everyone scared the whole time, and who knows what shenanigans he can pull out in this upcoming finale. He was the player of the episode for me. I give him credit for flipping Sage, who then flipped Christina, and they didn't even need Christina at that point. He's been playing well and has a great story, though I worry that the showing off in front of the jury, like playing the fake idol or continuing to stand up and do fake outs with the idol, could just annoy them. I also worry that he's actually so bad at competitions in this post-merge, so we'll see how he does in the giant finale challenges and potentially fire making, but coming into this finale, he's my frontrunner. But that's all I have to say about this episode. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the episode, Steven's departure, and who's your winner pick coming into the finale. If you enjoyed this video, consider liking and subscribing. I'll be back next week to recap the finale. Until then, you know where to find me. Bye.